morning, guys. How are you doing? My name is Chico Demilino. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. Please subscribe to my channel. Before we even get down to it, please subscribe to my channel. I promise to give you content that's helpful, and that's it's not like something that's I'm gonna give you content that makes sense. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so please subscribe if you have not, but if you have, thank you so much. You don't know how much you mean to me. You're just awesome. God bless you for supporting me. Anyway, so today I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I'm gonna get ready. I'm going for brunch. I'm supposed to leave the house at 12 because the brunch is gonna be at 12:30, and it's not far. It's like 20 minutes away, so I'm gonna make it if I leave at 12:30. Anyway, I leave at 12. Anyway, so I'm gonna tell you guys about how I won the green card and how I found out. So if you don't know me, my name is Marion and I live in Houston, Texas, but I am a Kenyan. I am from Nairobi. I lived in Ngong before I moved to the US. So I'm gonna tell you guys that I won the green card twice, which is amazing. It's actually a miracle because, I mean, who wins a lottery twice? And even not even about winning twice, but twice in a row, it's just crazy. And that is super amazing, and I still think about it to this day. I think about it all the time. I have been to the US a few years, and I have been I am so grateful that I got the opportunity to come here. And I know that not everybody wants to come to the US, but a lot of people that I've met, they would love to come here. So I'm going to tell you guys how I won the green card. So one day, I'm just starting it in one day. So I went one day, I was just chilling at home. Although let me tell you this first. I have always applied for a green card. I have always applied. After high school, I applied like once. That's after high school. And then the years went by, and then I applied for, before I won, let me say when I won, that was like the 4th time I was applying. Okay. So I applied in 2017. So I'm going to tell you about how I applied in 2017. So a friend of mine, first, my aunt, I have an aunt who lives in the US. She used to call me all the time. She'd be like, go apply for the green card. It's time to apply for the green card. Did you apply for the green card? She used to remind me, and she told me that it's very possible. I was oblivious about it. I didn't think that it could happen because, like, it's a lottery. You know, like, you don't think that you're going to win a lottery. So alikuwa ananicola ananiambia, did you apply for it? Just go. You never know, you could win. And she really did inspire me to be doing it a lot. And on that 2017, she had told me about it. She told me to go and apply. But I was just, I was just like, okay, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to apply for it. Like, I'm going to do it. It's just that I was working back then, and I was really busy. I was working at a school in Westlands, near Westgate. I was a Montessori school teacher. And I was going to work every day. I used to leave the house at 4:30 in the morning. So every day that I was off, it was just a relaxing day, or I would just hang out with friends. So I never got to it. But my friend, who she's a very good friend of mine. She called me out of nowhere. Listen, this friend we've never talked about. I'm getting ready because I'm just putting on makeup right now. So we've never talked about a green card ever. Like, we've never like sat down and said, oh, it would be nice to win a green card. No, we have never talked about it at all. So when she called me, she was like, okay, we used to look for stuff to do, like hang out, and we used to call each other like, I'm going here, let's go to town, take me for shopping, or I'm going to look for something in town, or she'd tell me like, let's go hang out, let's go have some cocktails or something. And I was down for that all the time, and I would call her the same way. It was like every time I had something to do, I would call her like, let's hang out, let's do this, which was amazing because every single time we had an amazing time. So this friend of mine called me on that, it was on a weekend, I think. So she called me, she said, okay, let's go. I want to go apply for a green card. And I was like, okay, it's something to do, but it was weird because I'm really ashy, I need to put on lotion. We've never talked about it. We've never talked about going anywhere. We've never talked about we've never talked about leaving the country together. We've never talked about a green card. So she called me, she said, let's go hang out, and then first we'll go apply for a green card. And I said, you know how to do it? Because every time I did it, I had someone do it for me, and then I would pay it. That's a cyber. So she told me, I don't know how to do it, but I know someone. I have a friend who works in a cyber. He owns a cyber, not really a friend, just a person who goes to their church, I guess. And he can do that for us. And tukaenda na tukampata na akatujazia green card. And then ikakuja issue, I didn't remember. I didn't know my address. Sikuwa nakumbuka address ya home. So my friend said, okay, tunaweza tumia church yetu. So we used their church. Both of us applied and tukatumia church yao. So, and we forgot about it. Na hiyo mambo ikaisha na tukaenda home and we went on with our lives. So when you win a green card in, so a green card you apply in October, every October from date 5. I think it's, the date is set, I don't know, but in October. And when you apply in October, you have October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So you have, wow, it's a long time. You have 8 months to find out if you won. I mean, it's a patience game. So May ikafika and ikapita. I didn't know if I'd won. I didn't check for the results because I took a picture of the screen. I took a screenshot and I think I took a picture and I had it in my phone and I didn't think about it. And then May went on by, April, May, June went on by, and then July came and my aunt just asked me, she was like, by the way, you applied for the green card? I said, yeah. She asked me, did you even check? I said, no, I didn't check. She's like, okay, do you have the confirmation number? I said, yes. So she checked it for me. So when she checked it for me, no, she took the confirmation number, but she didn't check at that time. So she went on by she went on with what she was doing, and I went on with what I was doing. And then one day in July, I mean, I was in the bathroom. I was getting ready to go to work. I used to leave the house at 4:30 in the morning every single day, Monday to Friday. And I was in the house and I was getting ready and my mom was in there. Alexa, stop! My mom was in the living room. Every time I would get ready to go to work, you see I'm waking up, I have to wake up around 3:30 so I can shower and get ready and leave. So every time I would get ready, I would get up, my mom would get up and get ready. My mom would get up so she can stand at the gate and watch me go down because we live it's like, I don't want to say a hill because it's not really a hill, we just live, it's not a far distance, but we have to, like, it's a path you have to walk to get to the stage. So I was in the bathroom getting ready and then I had my mom say, oh my god, and I was like, what happened? I didn't ask her, but because I was in the shower, I was like, okay, what happened? And I turned off the water and I was trying to listen, like, what happened? Because I knew it was something bad. Maybe she didn't want to tell me, so I was gonna just listen and hear what she's gonna say so I can know if it's something bad. So I listened out, but she was just like, oh my god, oh my gosh, what? And then she said my name and I was like, what did I do? I'm like, what? It can't be something bad. Like, what? And then after I got ready, I got out of the bathroom. I went and asked her. I had my towel and she said, I asked her, well, what happened? Like, why are you shouting right now in the morning? She said, endo vaingua alafu utakuja ndakwambia. And I was like, okay. So I just went and got dressed. And then I said, okay, if it was something bad, she would have told me before or maybe she should not have told me. Maybe she would have thought, like, let her get dressed first, and then so I can tell her when she faints, she'll have dresses, she'll be dressed or whatever. So akaniambia, like, nikatoka bedroom, nimevaa nguo and I'm ready, and I'm like, okay, tell me what happened. I need to go. She said, guess what? I was like, what? And then she was smiling. So I was like, okay, so it can't be something bad. She said, unajua nini? You've won a green card. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, it can't be true. I was like, are you serious? Are you joking? And then she's like, no, your aunt is on the phone. Just ask her. Machine green card. And I asked my aunt and she said, yeah, guess what? You've won a green card. You've done it. Like, that's it. And I was like, what? Finally, I'm leaving this country. I was so happy, let me tell you. Okay, I didn't think I'm leaving this country. There's something I realized. There's wanting something, there's how you feel when you want something, and there's how you feel when you get it. It's not like you're not gonna be necessarily happy because you want it so bad, but you're not I don't know how to explain this. You may want something so bad, but when you get it, you don't know how you're gonna feel. So I was conflicted because I was like, I was happy at first. I was like, oh my God, that's it. And then I was like, wait a minute. So that means I'm going to leave my entire family here? I mean, I have family here in the US, but I was like, I'm going to leave my mom and my siblings and my entire family? I was like, I won't, like, I'm not gonna see my dad. I'm not gonna see my sisters. I was like, this is crazy. So I was just like, it was just like emotions. And you know what I thought? I was like, okay, the good thing right now is that I don't have to go to work, because let me tell you, the job that I was working, I loved my job. Let me just say there, I love kids, I love children, I love babies, I love kids, and I had really good students. But the job, I don't want to say too much, but the job, So I was excited, because I was like, so I can quit my job right now. Because in my mind, I thought like, if you win a green card, like, all you have to do is they give you a number and you would call, like, hey, it's me, you gave me a green card, so I'm coming. That's what I thought. And then I would go to the US. I was like, yani nilikuwa nafikiria sasa hivi nimeshinda green card leo, next week niko US. That's what I was thinking, for sure. That's what I was thinking. And it could not be farther from the truth, because that is not what was about to happen. It was, winning a green card is a process, and it's a long process. That's what teaches you patience. Like, that's how you know you're not in control of anything. If you're a control freak, you're gonna go crazy. But anyway, it all depends in a dependent case number. I'm gonna do a video about explaining about the case number and how to check you if you're in status right now, to go, if your case number is in status, to go to the embassy, and about the embassy process and the medical process. I mean, the whole green card process. I'm gonna do a video on that. But so I went to work. I had to go to work, so I went to work. And on Kwamatatu, I used to go with the matatu. In the matatu, I was just sitting in the matatu, just thinking about it. I was like, what just happened? What just happened? And I was like, First of all, I was mad, because there was this neighbor who is a lovely lady. I don't even know, like, let me tell you, a lot of people, there are mean people out there. There are mean people out there. But I met this one lady who's, oh my gosh, she's just an angel. She used to give me a ride every single day, every morning. Imagine your mapema yote. She used to give it. She would not leave me. She would, every time she would see me, I had to. And it was so nice being in a really nice car. She had a really nice car, and it was warm, and the ride to town, and we just chat, and she had the most amazing stories. It was just amazing, and I love her so much, and she's an amazing person. I'll never forget all the stuff that she did for me. Anyway, so we went to I went to town, and I was like, the whole time kwa matatu, I'm just checking kuona kama like, what now, which number. I'm looking for the number to call to tell them that I want a green card so I can come. In my mind, like, I need to call them. You want to be like, they need to get me out of here. I don't need to be going. I was like, maybe I shouldn't even be going to work. Like, that day, it was the day that I was like, do I even need this job right now? So I went to work, and I got there, and I couldn't even concentrate. Like, I was just thinking, like, the good thing with the job that I was, a Montessori class, there are 4 teachers, so I didn't have to be like on my game that day. So in my mind, I'm just thinking. So I already put on my foundation and the powders, so now I'm gonna put on blush. So I was just thinking, like, do I even need to be here right now? I was just looking at these people like, I don't even need to be here. I don't need this job. And my boss, she was an Indian lady. Yeah, she was an Indian lady. And in my mind, I was like, she had these CCTV cameras. They were everywhere, even in the classrooms. So I knew she was looking. So I was like, I don't even care. That day, like, I was always like, we all had tension in the classroom, because she was right there in the classroom. But when that day, because I didn't even care about anything, I didn't even care. I was like, whatever happens. I don't give up. Whatever. I'm just here. So I was just there, and then that day just ended like that. I was so happy, and then I went home. I couldn't wait to go sit down with my sister and tell her tell my family like, what can you imagine, this is what happened, like I won a green card, like what next, like I'm leaving, like you can get my stuff, you can get my room, you just take my room. And that was what I was thinking. But then I had realized that it's a whole process, and it's very tedious, by the way, but it's very worth it. I was so excited, and it was in July. So I had a case number. So this is called a case number. So that case number determines when you go to the embassy. Yes, when you win a green card, you still need to go for an interview. That sucks, but yeah, you have to go for an interview. You can't just because you won a green card at Unakuja US. No, you have to go for an interview, and you have to pass that interview. It's not, the good thing is not, it's not at a hard interview. It's just simple. See, kama ile kwenda kama student, you can't compare that. Going as a student, and I'm using Fenty powder foundation, so you can't even sema ati it's a hard interview, because I've been there. Let me tell you, before I came to the US, nimenyimwa visa 2 times. I'm telling you. Hold on, is it twice or 3 times? I think 2 times. Yeah, I think 2 times. So what happened is, I went to the embassy for a visiting visa, and then they denied it. They told me no, not going to the US. And I went again for a visiting visa. They denied me, and let me tell you, that's when I knew that you're not even in control of your own body. Because when I was standing there, it's okay. So the embassy is like a bank, like just not the whole thing, just the outlook, you touch the setup. So it's like a bank. You see how you go to the teller hapo mbele mnaongea naye anakutolea do and stuff. That's how it is. So umepanga line, and then you go there, and then if you're denied, you get out. They give you a pink sheet and you go, and a pink paper. That's what I mean. And then if you get a visa, then you go somewhere next and you pay for the visa, and then you go home. So when I was going to tumepanga line, and the 2 people in front of me, they were denied. I just saw them with red papers, and people wanted to just die. And then I saw another lady. I think she was Sudanese, because she looked Sudanese. So she had a bunch of papers. I think I don't know about her process, but she had a lot of papers, and she was trying to talk to them and stuff, and they just said no. And she said, no, but you need to reconsider, and they were like, no. And then I went there, and that lady told me no. She didn't even ask me. What did she ask me? She asked me, are you married? I said no. She said, unfortunately. I said, that's it. And that's when I knew you can't be in control of your body, because my legs, my knees, I felt my knees like they died. I felt like my knees, they lost, like I couldn't even stand. But I didn't fall, but I was like in shock. Like, do you know I spent money to come here? And do you know I'd already planned around this? I was like, I'm going to the US like in like 2 weeks. That's what I'm thinking, and you're telling me I can't go to a country. I wanted to tell her, like, I don't even want to go, I'm done. But then I thought about it. I was gonna be back for sure. I was gonna be back. But then yeah, if they deny you, that's it. So the interview process for a green card, it's nothing like that. It's like you're 80% guaranteed, because you've won already. You've done the hard part. You don't need to prove nothing. You just need, the only thing you need to do is you have to have had at least a D in high school, and you should not have a criminal record at all. Like, your fingerprints should not have been taken by the police. And then you should have at least umefanya job after high school. Like, you've not like just stayed, you've gone to university or something. At least you've done something. And you don't even, alafu, if you do not have a high school certificate, then at least you need to have worked for a job for 2 years that needed training, which is really reasonable. So I went, I was super excited. I told my mom about it, and then I told them what, it's a whole process. So the case number that I got, it was number 52,000 and something, let me tell you. So the green card works like this. There are 100,000 green cards, okay? So 100, when you get that confirmation that you won, don't lose hope, okay? It's possible. You know, the way you won, you could finally you can get the interview, right? The interview is the easiest thing. So there are 100,000 green cards given out, yeah? So after people win, only 50,000 people can go. So 100,000 people will go to the interview, but 50,000 of them will not make it to go to the US. So they're gonna check out things like, oh, they don't finish high school, so you're kaput, they remove you, or you lie about something. I'm gonna tell you something about someone who I know. He lied. So he had his own children. He had applied a green card with his own children, but he lied. I'm checking the time. He lied that he had a son. He wanted to go with his nephew, his brother's son. But then when he went there, he was like, oh yeah, and I forgot to put in my son. When they found out it was a lie, you know what they did? They took him out. They told him no, he can't go. They just said no, you can't go because you lied. So if you lie, that can disqualify you. Just like that, you lose everything. And it's a lot of, I can't even imagine how much money they use as a family, because the green card process is expensive. You're going to use like less than the least you're going to use is 50K. So can you imagine 50K for like, and that's one person. So imagine if you have like, because he had 3 kids. So imagine if all that money, his wife, him, his children, and then the nephew, and then you just lose all that money, because they're not going to refund that money. That's it, it's done. So unless they've started refunding it, but what I know, what I understood is that they're not going to refund your money. That's crazy. So that's, if you lie, that's it, they can take you out. They can just, you know, you lose your opportunity just like that for no reason. I'm going to be using the Juvia's, this is the Warrior palette. Can you imagine, you just lose your opportunity just because you lied? It's not even worth it, I'm telling you. It's not funny, because you can go crazy, I'm telling you. So that's what happened, he lied. Anyway, so after I found out, I started finding out the process. I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if this is gonna happen, it's gonna work out. So I told you I had case number 52,000 and something, which is, it's crazy. Can you imagine? I waited, it had to go all the, let me put this on and tell you guys. I had to wait. So I found out in July, right? I had to wait August, September, October. So October, that's the 3rd month after finding out. As my usual, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just apply again, because even my case number was too high. I'm just gonna apply again. So I applied again because it was time to apply, right? So October went by. People are just being called in the interview for the interview in the embassy. If you're the 10,000 below, they're called. 20,000 below, they're called. I remember it ended at around 30,000 and something. That's when they cut off. That's when they cut off people. Like, they'd already given out enough green cards, and that's it. Everybody, they had given out 50,000 green cards. So you know, that's all over the world. So they had given out all the green cards, and that's it. There was none left. But the good thing is that I didn't know that before. So I'm just waiting. People are just, they're going for the interviews, and then in May the next year, I found out that I had one. This time I was ready. I had my paper. I was just looking at the confirmation. And when the day came, it was in May. I don't remember the date, but I was like, I'm going to check it. And I saw that I had won. I told my aunt, can you check it for me? Because I wasn't thinking about checking it on my phone. So when she checked it, she said, oh my gosh, guess what? You won again. It was just crazy. We're like, what just happened the second time? And I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. So this case number was lower. It was 17,000 and something. Remember, the first one is 52,000 and something. So this one was 17,000 and I think 17,800 and something, if I'm not wrong. But can you even imagine? Can you even imagine that? It's crazy. I was so happy. I was just ecstatic just having that. Winning the green card twice. It's just crazy. So I waited for, like, after finding out that I won the second time, like the second month, the green card, the cutoffs happened. Like 52,000 was too high. People had gone to the US. People had, because I was in a group I had found a group of people on WhatsApp. Not on WhatsApp. I'd found them on the internet. There was this guy, I can't remember his name, but I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna post it so that people can use him, because he really gives out good information about green cards. And there's a lot, let me tell you, there's a lot of information that's not on the internet that they're not gonna tell you. I think that's, I don't know if they use that also. That's why a lot of people weren't able to go, but a lot of people didn't use that information, because I found out later. So in this WhatsApp group that I joined, people were going to the interview, They come back, they tell us, oh, guess what, I was told I need to get this information first and then go back. And then a lot of people were like, oh, we've been given the green card, we're going, we passed the interview, we're going. A lot of people, some people were denied, like that person I told you about. A lot of people were denied. Not even some people, it was a lot of people that were denied. But some people were, a lot of people were given. So the information was, I remember the information that almost got me was that you had to have, so you have to have a host, definitely in the US. When you're coming with a green card, you have to have a host. So what happened is that I did not, I had a host, for sure I had a host, but I did not know that you needed to have their tax form. It said nowhere. Remember I told you the requirements for having for getting the green card, right? But there's nothing like tax form papers. And when you're at home, you don't think about a 1099 or a W2. I think they wanted a W2, if I'm not wrong, or a 1099. I can't remember. But can you imagine that? Like, you don't know what they need, and you're just there, and you're going to the interview without that information. It's crazy, because that would have costed, and I'm sure it costed a lot of people their green cards, which is just, you know, they need to put that information out there. So I finally got the tax forms from my host, and I was able to take them with me. And then when I got to the interview, so this lady, of course they know that you won twice. They knew that I had won the first time. They can see that I'd already applied twice and been denied. So they're like, this person must really want to come to the US, because I remember I got there and I was in line, and I met a lady in the reception area, like the waiting area. And this lady, she told me that she had applied, that a job had called her here. That's why I'm saying, I told you guys before that coming to the US, there are many ways. You don't have to come with a green card. There are many ways of coming to the US. So she told me that she said, hold on, let me tell you. She told me that she had come through, she was going through a job, that the job was applying for her. She got like, I don't know what you call it, but if a school calls you, that's an I-20. I don't know what they call it for a job. So she had gotten an invitation by a job, and that's how she was coming to the US. So I met her there, and she went into the interview, and she came back and she told me they gave it to me, and I was like, oh, that's good. So I was called. They call you. When you go there, they give you a number. So they called the number. So I went in there, and I had some papers with me, my certificates and everything, like everything I've done. And when I got to the place, the booth, she just told me, she asked me, where are you going? She asked me like, okay, so which state are you going? I told her which state I'm going. And then she said, okay, do you, what's the name of your host? And I told her. What's the name of your husband's host? And I told her. And then she told me, and then she asked me, so what did you do after high school? I said, I did this, that's what I did. And then I said, okay. So I took out the papers, because when someone asks you what you did, of course you have to prove, right? So I took out my papers to show her, and you know what she told me? She said, no, that's not necessary, it's okay. You know what? You get the green card. And I was like, what just happened? You know, it's crazy, because the same spot that I've stood there twice and been denied. I'm here again, and you don't even want to see my papers. You're like, you got a green card. And I was like, wow, that's just amazing. I was losing it. Let me tell you, I was going crazy. I could not believe the same feeling of weakness, like I wanted to faint. And let me tell you, my family and I were we're super close, because that day, everybody had taken me. I have twin sisters. We're kids, and she's my small sister. She's the girl who follows me. We went, all of us together. My mom, we were all there, and I'd left them at a restaurant. Oh my gosh, I'd left them at a restaurant near the embassy. So the embassy is downhill, so I was going up the hill, and after I got the green card, I was so happy. I called my aunt and shouted like, yeah, I got the green card, I'm coming, get ready for me. That's what I said. And then I walked up the hill, and then I met my mom and my sister. Then I pretended to be crying. I just put some saliva on my eyes. I'd be like, oh my gosh, guess what? I didn't get it. They said that I'm not qualified enough, or something like that. And they were shook, but I would tell they were not sad. They were not sad when I lied to them. They were not sad. And I'm like, yeah, they told me, you know what? And we ordered food. And then once the food was there, I said, guess what? They gave me the green card and they were what? And let me tell you, we cried. It's crazy because we cried right there. We're just crying. And everybody, I can't remember if it was Steers Dilishanga. Debonair's, I think. I can't remember that restaurant. But it's Ikwapo tu kwa embassy hapo juu. I'm telling you, we cried because the process was tedious and now this is it. And they all know how much my dream. Hey, let me tell you, me, I was like, I have to go to the US. Please watch my video before. I was talking about how it was the US or nothing for me. Just it's called Coming to America. Just watch it. It's somewhere, I think, below this one, but the one I did before this one. And let me tell you, I was like, they just knew how much it meant. They knew how much it meant to me. Like going to the US, they just knew. And that for me, it was America or nothing. Yeah, that's it. I was just gonna stay and do nothing if I'm not coming to America. That's where I was at. Like that's what I was. Yeah, that's how my mind was then. So we were all just crying up at Kwa embassy, just looking at each other like, what? You're leaving? That's it? Like it's a wrap? Like you're not coming back? You know, like, and then I was just like, I was so happy. Just the thought of going to another country and just seeing. And I've always loved to go. It's just that when you're in a certain, like when you're back home, you never think about leaving. And let me tell you something. There's this kuna difference. Let me tell you. There are people who are like mentality. They're like, they can go, they can do stuff. And then there are people who are like, they don't want, then they're not leaving. You know, they're just living in Kenya and that's a wrap. But I decided I'm going to come when I came. What did I just say that I decided to come to the US? When I won that green card, we were all just crying and we were super happy and super sad at the same time. It was the most bittersweet thing in my life. So we went home and we're just looking at each other like, that's it, like you're leaving. And it was all sad and everything. And we didn't talk about it. And then I just went on with my life. I had a business. I quit my job. Finally, the job that I quit, I left it. And then so after I left that job, we're just looking at each other like, now what? What are you going to do? And I opened up a business and I started running my business. I was having the most fun. Hold on, let me go get my eyeshadow. I need to get dressed and go. I have 20 minutes. So what was I saying? Oh, I was saying how I opened up my business and I went to this country. What do you call this? I went to Uganda and I got, look at that palette. I love that palette. It has very beautiful colors and they're very nicely pigmented. So I went to this, I went to Uganda and I got the stuff that I got. And I came home and I started doing my business and I had an amazing time. Let me tell you, it was amazing. I won't lie to you, I had the most amazing time. Because I love business. I love just running a job. And that's what I did. And I did my business and I sold stuff. And it was amazing, amazing, amazing. And then finally the day came and I had fun experiences with my friends, because now I wasn't working anymore. I mean, I didn't have a 9 to 5. So the time that I was off work, I was just having fun with my friends and just enjoying my family. And then time came for me to go. I mean, I finally left the country in June and I was given the visa in May. So can you imagine, just a few months? I had 2 months left, like I knew, because immediately I got the green card. We got the ticket real fast. So I started getting ready to leave the country. Oh, I need to clear that. So I didn't have time to, I didn't spend a lot of time with my family. But yeah, I've gone back home ever since. I've been home like I think like 4 times. I've been home a few times and I've stayed for a while. I've had fun and I've really traveled. I've traveled a lot and I've loved every minute of it. So you can go to my Instagram. My name is _Shiko on Instagram, and under my highlights I've put places where I've gone to. You can go over there and please follow me and check on my I have the highlights where I've traveled to and the pictures I've taken. I'm also traveling pretty soon. I'm traveling in 2 weeks and I'm gonna be taking you guys with me. It's gonna be an amazing trip, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So please subscribe so you can know when I leave and you can see. I'm gonna try my best. Let me tell you what happens with me. So whenever I'm traveling, I'm going somewhere, what happens is I want to live in the moment. I just want to see. I want to see everything. I want to be there. So taking videos for me has been really hard in the past because it's not been easy for me to take videos and also do like enjoy and live in the moment. But I'm gonna try my best to do that, and I'm gonna involve you guys as much as I can, so you can see anyway. So I'm gonna end the video here because clearly I'm not able to multitask. I'm trying to talk to you guys and I'm trying to put on makeup, and I have 15 minutes to go so I can leave anyway. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I hope you get something from this. And please comment down below any questions you have, any videos you want me to explain, anything, just put it down there. You can also DM me on Instagram if you need me to tell you anything, any information you need, and I'm gonna be ready to give it right to you anyway. So I think that's it. So please subscribe and please comment and share, so this can also reach out to other people. And have a blessed day or an evening or whatever you're gonna have. Just be kind and
Warwa sangi ne molimu yongitura ga dibitari tondo sangi